What's up, YouTube? Hope you're doing very, very well. This is an interesting little video, to be perfectly honest. I'm extremely excited to be making it. It's a concept. It's something I've done frequently enough on my podcast, but it's not something that I've done often enough on YouTube. And I thought today would be a good time to actually, I thought this would be a good time to change that. It's something that I really enjoy on the podcast. I feel like on the podcast it does quite well, and I feel like it'd be fun to do on YouTube videos as well. On that note, I'm just gonna make a quick podcast at the same time. So it's gonna be in both places. Essentially, since you guys are probably new to this, basically what this is, so I turn the camera on, or in this case, podcast and camera, and we just talk about some stuff. Where's my head at? What's new, what's bothering me, just really opening up and just sort of spewing it all out. AKA, I'm calling this a rant from the heart. The last one I've done like this was actually specifically focused around my weaknesses, to be honest. I think it's called something like, I forget, if you search like Azren weaknesses, I'm actually gonna look it up right now, but I think if you search Azren weaknesses, you'll find it. I'm gonna search here, Azren weaknesses. You search Azren weaknesses on YouTube, yeah, you're gonna find it. It's called Showing My Weaknesses Live. Something that did quite well. People really liked it. And I thought, what the heck, let's do it again right now. So let's get this podcast going. We'll do this all together. Podcast and YouTube all together. Here we go. What is up, my fellow podcast people? I hope you're doing very, very well on this fine Saturday evening, or whatever day and time it is for you right now as you're listening to this podcast episode. I'm your host, as per usual, Azren, the language nerd. You can find me primarily on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube, but also secondarily on medium.com, where I do weekly blog posts every single Sunday, and occasionally whenever I feel like posting on Tumblr and on Musical.ly. My handle on all these platforms is exactly the same. It is at PolyglotAzren. That is spelled PolyglotAz or Z, depending on what country you're from, REN. And welcome to another podcast episode. I'm very, very excited to be recording this one here. This time around, we actually have the YouTube folks who are also going to be watching this episode. Some are watching live, some are going to be watching the recording. Reason being is I decided that this is going to be a really interesting post, and I thought it'd be something, I guess you could say, a little bit of an off-speed pitch, something that's a little bit different, a different kind of feel to it. And I thought, why not throw it on YouTube too? Because I think people are really going to like it. And I want to just do a bit of a rant from the heart today, to be perfectly honest with you guys. I've done this a couple times on the podcast, where basically I just turn it on, start the recording, and just talk about where my head's at, just talk about my headspace, talk about what's going on in my life, what's going well. Some things are obviously going to be language related. Some things are going to be not language related. It's going to be a bit of both. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of both, to be perfectly honest. But yeah, let's just jump right in. Overall, I'm in a good place, man. I'm in such a good place. Mentally, just doing really good. Doing really, really good. The past week, I had a really strong week at work. Overall, like when you just look at how sales are doing, sales are in such a good place. The best place they've been really for, 6 months, kind of the best place they've been, even quite honestly, really almost as high as they've ever been. We're going to see how the final week of June wraps up, but they've just been going really good. Sales are going well. I feel like I've hit a bit of a cadence with a lot of my content. I'll be honest, a lot of my content I don't feel the best about, to be honest. Not feeling great about all of it. Like YouTube, it's funny that YouTube's actually on this. YouTube's been a little bit hit and miss, a little bit not at its prime. I think there was a point in time where YouTube really was at its peak, versus right now, I think it's dropped off a little bit, which is fine, which is perfectly normal. I think one of the things that's really different about how I approach things in life is that I am usually, like those pictures where you see, I don't even know if you guys can imagine this, but those pictures often in cartoons where people have like those sticks, and on the sticks there's like plates spinning. Have you guys seen those, like the spinning plate things? I think people have seen this, right? And someone has like 5, sticks on a single hand, 5 sticks on the other hand, and there's 10 plates kind of spinning, right? I feel like myself, I have a lot of plates spinning. And if 1 on 10 plates falls or kind of wobbles a little bit, like I'm not that worried, right? I'm not all that concerned. It doesn't bother me that much. And so right now, YouTube, for example, yeah, it's maybe the content isn't exactly what it used to be, but then again, the podcast is doing so well. Podcast is better than ever. Like podcast is consistent numbers, like listeners, daily listeners. I'm super consistent with it. We've got a real cadence, right? Instagram is feeling good, especially with IGTV that's come out recently, guys. Like, oh my God, the whole vertical video stuff is going to be insane, right? Sales are going really well. Like I feel so laser focused. And actually, let's leave the realm of work. Like, boy, oh boy, in just my life in general right now, I've kind of found a good rhythm with how I want the schedule to look. I have this ridiculously awesome morning routine, ridiculously awesome nighttime routine that just keeps me so laser focused. I've got a good way of this. I talked about this on YouTube. I don't know, but podcast, we've talked about this, where I've been really making sure that every single day has like a singular major type of focus, right? This is a sales day. This is an organization day. This is a this kind of day. This is a that kind of day. This is this. This is that, right? Like I've been doing that and it's just working so well. I'm getting good sleep. Like things overall, my head is just in such a good, things are just going so well, man, right now. Things are doing good. And it's funny, right? When you look through, a lot of my content, it's interesting because often enough, right, you'll see these posts where I'm maybe not in the best headspace, right? Just turn it on, like YouTube, maybe podcast, I'm not sure. Like, I don't remember anymore. But anyway, you guys have, if you followed me for a while and you followed stuff quite closely, you've definitely seen posts where I've been like, things are not going well. Not in a good headspace. This is going wrong. That's going wrong. Blah, 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 blah. Feeling stressed. This, that, the other thing, right? But overall, one of the things that I've just been so happy about is overall, I think things have just been on the good. Things have always been in a good place. Even when I was working, even like in the kind of like the later end of when I ran the window cleaning business, something I've talked about, not in a while, but something I used to do, run a big window cleaning business, a relatively big window cleaning business. In that business, like near the tail end, things were getting real stressful, man. Like things were getting real stressful, real busy. And, I was not in the best health at the time. Like I wasn't eating the right foods, wasn't drinking enough water, wasn't sleeping enough, stressed out, working a lot of hours. I was eating too many sugary foods, too many carbs, not enough vegetables, not enough protein, right? Just not in a good place. A lot of changes with the business at the time, actually. So it was quite a turbulent time emotionally. I had one panic attack, which was crazy at the time. Like I'd never had I think it was a panic attack, honestly. And I was so like, what the heck is going on? Like, that's crazy. For me, it felt like a really crazy, like kind of a challenging time, right? But even then, it's so crazy that I still view things as, things are going well. And I think it's just, I don't know why that is. I was thinking earlier, it's upbringing. I was thinking that it's how my mom parented me. I was thinking about that, right? Maybe that's how I was parented and raised growing up, which I think absolutely has a big factor to it. My mom did such a fantastic job of me growing up and making sure that the right thoughts, the right thoughts and the right perspectives were instilled. Like I remember my mom would tell me, like self-esteem wise, if someone says a bad thing about you, she'd give me the strategy. She'd be like, put up the shield so it doesn't come in, right? My mom would be like, she'd even say things like, if you say something good, it's going to be a boomerang that comes right back to you and good things come to you. Say something bad, it's a boomerang that comes back to you and hurts you. So when someone says something bad, you don't have to do anything about it. You already know the boomerang's coming back to hit them. Like you don't have to worry about that. Just, it's just, a lot of good positive messaging, right? Someone insults you, she'd be like, just say thank you. Someone sticks their tongue out, compliment their tongue. Be like, nice tongue, man. I like it. Let me show you mine, right? So the tongue sticking out when I was a kid didn't matter. Someone says something mean about you, you don't care, right? It doesn't bother you because you're like, thanks, man. And she'd teach me the right reactions. And right, there's a lot of good stuff that's happening there. She would teach me and tell me that I was a good good kid. Like a lot of good stuff was happening. So I think a lot of it has to do with upbringing. And yet, when I really think about it, I think there's actually a certain aspect of like, how do I say this? I guess you could kind of say DNA and just kind of how I'm wired in my brain. Because it's funny, right? My mom is not necessarily someone who, she is very independent. She will do her own thing. She does care about her own opinion more than the opinion of others, which she's definitely passed to me. But overall, self-esteem wise, how they view themselves, I definitely view myself in a much more positive way, in a much higher self-esteem way than my mom does. And so it makes me wonder, like, what the heck is going on, right? And so it's just crazy. So I don't know, like when I was going through the really stressful times in the window cleaning business, when it's really good times now, one of the cool things that I've been really happy to have is just I kind of see things in such a good way, in such a positive way. And it's just, I don't know, man, it's just so good. It's such a, I don't know if gift is the right way. I don't know if we're the right word or whatever it is, but overall things are good. Things are good, man. I think, yeah, it's just things are good. I think rules are really interesting. Making a real interesting transition here, but it's funny how I'm really into rules. Kind of interesting for me. I think it's helped me in a lot of ways, whether that's rules as in I need to follow my calendar, I need to eat a certain way, I need to act like this, right? Even things like I like to talk, clearly, make all these videos and podcasts and so much content. Clearly, I like to talk and hear my own voice. But it's funny how I have rules when I talk to strangers, I talk to other people, how I keep myself in check to let other people talk, right? Like, it's funny. Rules have always worked well for me. Yeah, it's just things are good, man. Things are good. I just want to make a quick post and to say that things are so good right now for me, and I'm just really in a good place mentally. And I've realized whenever I do these random rants from the heart, whenever I just like throw this stuff out, whenever I just spit this kind of stuff, whenever I make this style of post where it's not necessarily about language learning, right? It's not necessarily about that. It's just about, me just spitting the stuff that's going in my brain and my heart and my body and my mouth, like spitting it all out. Often I do it when I'm not in the best place mentally, right? I'll do it when something's bothering me, when I'm really stressed, when I'm tired, when things aren't going well. But I thought, what the heck? Why am I doing that? Why am I only making these posts? Why am I only making these posts when things are maybe not in the best place, when my brain is not in a good place, when I'm not in the best mental state? Why the heck am I only doing it then, right? Why the heck am I not doing it when I'm in such a good place, when the mental space is doing well, when I'm, like that? It makes sense. And I was like, let's just turn this freaking thing on today and just get this out. We gotta. It's interesting, right? Like, it's so funny, actually. It's crazy that this came to mind. I made that post. I mentioned it early in this video podcast and this whole thing, right? I said really early on, I made this post a while back called Showing My Weaknesses Live, right? Where I talked about a lot of the stuff that maybe isn't great about me, a lot of my weaknesses, a lot of things that I'm not good at. And to be honest, I want to make another one. I want to go and do that again. I think it'd be fun, right? I actually want to do a post that's called like, who am I? It'd be so cool to do a post called Who Am I? And like literally I go, hey, let me just tell you about me. We go through some shallow things, my name, what I studied, whatever, what I do for work, where I live, simple things. We can go to some positives, we can go to some negatives, but I want to go real deep and just kind of open up and just share a lot of things that at least I feel comfortable sharing to the internet, right? But open up more than usual. But I was thinking, right, I made that post about showing the weaknesses live, and yet but it's crazy because when you look at a lot of the content is actually negative as it is. Instagram and Facebook and what you see on the news, so much is negative, and there's not actually a lot. Like, yeah, there's motivational speakers, yeah, there's motivational stuff, like, sure, and that's fine, right? And that's really fantastic, actually. It helps a lot of people, and that's really great. I don't know if I want to go down that path myself exactly. I don't want to do that. It's actually it's a phase I went through as a teenager that I'm not that proud of, weirdly. I kind of look back and go, oh my God, what the heck is happening? But I digress. But it's funny. I was like, man, holy cow. I'm not, like, I made that post where I'm like showing my weaknesses live, and yet I haven't made that post where I go, what the hell? Let's just talk about the stuff that's going well. Why the heck am I hiding that? Why am I not just demonstrating and putting it on a pedestal? Like, why the heck am I not doing that? I don't know, right? So I thought, whoa, that was really loud. Threw a pencil down really hard. Did it break? It didn't break. It's a green pencil, by the way. I don't think this is a pencil crayon. I think this is the pencil. That's super strange. Anyway, right? But yeah, things are going good. What else is going good? I think, you know, I think things are, I'm happy. It's a big one. I think I was looking at something recently. I was looking at some different things for like moving out and what I would need to be able to do that in terms of just income to be able to do it the way that I want to do it. Like I don't want to, when I move out, I don't want to have to like be living completely paycheck by paycheck to paycheck. What's up, Maria, by the way? Maria in the YouTube. What's up? What's up? Hello, hello. I like your last name, by the way. I like your first name too. Maria's a good name. Maria's got to be one of my top 10 favorite names, I think. Maria. Especially if I say the Spanish way. Maria in the English way, I don't know, not so much. But Maria is a very nice name. Very, very nice. I like it. But yeah, anyways, looking at some of the things for, you know, moving out and such. And it's just interesting how it was so interesting to just look at some of the numbers. And I was like, wow, this is real doable. Like I can figure this out, right? Like this is to move out in the financial scenario that I want to move out in, etc. Like, boo, it's real. It's real possible. It's real doable. And it was nice, man. We got friends, got some core friends I'm happy about. Seeing one of them in about 25 minutes to 30 minutes. I actually got a shower, which is disgusting as it sounds. It's like 6:38 p.m. here in Calgary. I haven't showered yet, just brushed my teeth and such. Just a busy work day on Saturday and decided to shower later. It's a fun fact about me, kind of a disgusting fact about me, but what the heck, who cares? And yeah, I think we can wrap it up there. I mean, there's so much we can just go on, but I thought it'd be good just to throw this out, right? Show some, I don't know, make one of these random rants from the heart when I'm in a good mood and when things are going so good, and not necessarily when I'm in like a salty mood, when my brain is not in a good place, right? So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching, listening, paying attention to this. YouTube, peace out. See ya. You got to check out the podcast, by the way, YouTube peeps. You got to check it out. If you haven't seen it yet, man, you're missing out. Podcast is phone's ringing. Podcast is straight fire. I really like it. Definitely, I feel like as good, if not better than my YouTube stuff. So YouTube, peace out. See ya. And the broadcast